Before we get started this evening, I'd like to recognize a few people who made this all possible. First of all, to my wife, Mariana, for the support that she has given me. Also to everyone whose knowledge, expertise, and time has been instrumental throughout this process. Vince Barber, Ken Farina, not here tonight, Dr. Santo Nicosia, and to all the other people that I may fail to mention. And a special thanks to the Italian Club for hosting this event. And a very special thanks to Roberto Tagliero to have made this happen. We wanted to thank the Consul General d'Italy, Mr. Musillo, and the President of the Italy-American Chamber of Commerce, Southeast, Mr. Cardano. I would like to introduce to you Mr. Musillo to make the first presentation, and after Mr. Cardano will tell us about the program of the IACCNE, Italy-American Chamber of Commerce, Southeast, and the SC, sorry.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for coming here for this meeting this evening. Well, today it was a very, very interesting day with so many inspiring meetings. We met the representatives of the University of South Florida Research and Innovations. After that, there was a very interesting visit to the Moffett Cancer Research Center, and I had the opportunity, along with Mario, with Santo Nicosia, and with the president of Italy-American Chamber of Commerce Southeast, to meet some Italian researchers. And it was so inspiring to have the possibility to talk to them and to know how important, how fundamental is their way of embrace the challenge, the study of the research, of innovative approach towards this particular very important subject. And we had a business lunch, and after that I visited the Tampa International Airport, exploring some opportunities to have non-stop connection between Tampa Bay and Italy. So, I promise to be brief. First of all, allow me to thank you for this touching welcome in Tampa. As you are all entrepreneurs and business people, we go straight to the point. I'm very delighted to be here on behalf of the Italian government to recognize the role that each one of you has in the strengthening of the relations between Italy and the United States. Just some information for you. Probably you have received a brochure, or you're going to receive a brochure, a booklet with some information about the Consulate General of Italy in Miami, responsible for the southeast of the United States. Our jurisdiction is a very large jurisdiction, covering very huge area. 5 states of the United States: Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama, with a population of more than 40 million people. And the consulate also serves, or tries to serve, the majority of the Caribbean islands, nations near Florida. Now, we count about 45,000 Italian residents overall, and this number increases daily, and not only in quantity but in diversity, with the arrival of very qualified professional physicians, attorneys, researchers, startuppers, and scientists. And also new companies are moving from Italy and opening new branches, or coming from other parts of the United States to live in this state, while Tampa is becoming more and more a multicultural city. As you are aware, in Florida there is a very important Italian and Italian-American presence. There are about 2 million Italian-American residents, and according to the US Department of Commerce, 260,000 Italian business travelers and tourists visit the state every year. This contributes over $750 million to the local economy. Furthermore, we know that Italian businesses employ over 8,000 local residents. So, you can have more detail inside to these figures in the brochure. Well, there is no need to emphasize that Italy is the country of beauty, classic culture, art, but also the second largest manufacturing country in Europe, a global leader in sophisticated machineries, in sustainability, in agri-food, in health and life sciences, in smart mobility, and last but not least in space economy. So we have so many sectors to work on. It is the consulate's mission to promote trade relations with the business community as an honest broker, as a facilitator. In order to assist the local business community, we provide services through 3 main Italian entities. First of all, the Consulate General's Trade Office, the Italian Trade Agency, and the Italian-American Chamber of Commerce Southeast, all of them based in Miami, responsible for all the southeastern United States. This is why I'm here today together with the president of Italian-American Chamber of Commerce Southeast, Tommaso Cardana, who will go into more details to illustrate the activities of the chamber. As most of you will know, to grow any business or service, it's first necessary to visit an area, learn about opportunities that may offer, and get to know the people who live and work there and their institution. My goal is to establish a long-term cooperation with those of you who wish to actively get involved with the consulate and work with us on projects jointly identified. Today is also an occasion for exchanging views on the future of our business community in the Tampa Bay Area, trying to create a permanent business connection with Italy and with the Italy system. Well, I don't want to repeat so many things that I said yesterday in my speech, but I'd like to give you just at a glance an idea of what we're working on. We have 4 pillars of our work. The first pillar is to create an office and to appoint a consular correspondent for the Tampa Bay area. The second one is up to you. It's to create a chapter of the Italian-American Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce has so many chapters, and they work very well, and I think that if we join our forces, we can succeed together. The third one is very important pillar, and is constituted by the culture and Italian language sector. So how can we spread the teaching, the learning of Italian language here in Tampa? And tomorrow morning we will have a meeting with the superintendent of the public school just to discuss this very important topic for Italy and for Italian American people. And last but not least, we have another sector which is very important to us, and this is the research, science and health sector. So we are going to create a group working on different levels, and in order to boost the cooperation between Italy and the United States. So I'm pretty sure that together we will be able to attain these aims. The first one is to gather 12 or 15 or something like that. Maso will be more precise than me. New members of the chamber, just to start with this amazing project. So thank you so much, and I wish you all very good work for this night. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. It's really a great pleasure to be here this evening. To be here last night was an amazing night. I'd like to thank again, first of all, the Consul General Cristiano Mugillo that is giving an amazing and wonderful support to the activity of the chamber, not only in this trip, but since he arrived in Miami, and I'm sure that he's going to keep doing the same for the rest of his years in Miami. I'd also thank very much both Mario Plaza and Vince Pardo for their amazing support, their passion about this project, and thanks to them we are all here tonight, and we are here trying to make something happen, which in my case would be create a business community in the Tampa Bay area for Italian company or for American company that look at Italy as a market opportunity. I just want to give you a few information about what the chamber is, what the chamber does, and how we structure, so to better understand what we can organize and achieve here in Tampa. The chamber has been founded in 1991 in Miami, so we have 25 years of experience in these activities. So the chamber is part of a network of 5 chambers in the US, New York, Houston, Chicago, and Los Angeles, and we cover the Southeast, which is Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, and Puerto Rico. Is a network that also includes 3 chambers in Canada and 1 in Mexico, and overall about 56 countries around the world. The chamber is a no-profit organization. This is another big difference. We are not a public, we're not a government agency. We're not a public structure. We are a no-profit organization made by entrepreneurs, made by business leaders to service the Italian American community in the Southeast. And there are some employees at the chamber in the office in Miami, and there's 11 board of directors that have been elected every 3 years by all the members, and they dedicate their time, their resources pro bono to the chamber and to the project. And then inside of the board of directors, they elected some executive person, the president, the vice president, so. Right now we are 255 members. Has been a record high for the last 7 months, which means that we are doing the things, I think, in the right way. And these members are distributed between the southeast but also Italy. In our region we have a few chapters. We created a chapter in Charleston, South Carolina in 2012. We created a chapter in Puerto Rico in 2015. We are now in the final stage to create a chapter in Atlanta, Georgia. And we are the Chamber of Southeast, and I think the Southeast would not be properly represented without a chapter also in the Tampa Bay area. And I really count on your support to make this happen in hopefully in the next month. These are some of the members of the Chamber. They go from very large companies like American Airlines, Jazz, MSC, and others, to even small business, restaurants, or people that they want to start their activity in the trade with Italy or have some investments related to Italy and the US. We also have 3 representative offices in Italy that they serve as an antenna to as a point of reference for Italian companies who want to come abroad. So we have an office in Milan, one in Bologna, one in Rome, that help filter the request of companies and support them in their process of going international. And to support this project, last April we did a Florida roadshow hitting 4 cities, Milano, Bologna, Firenze and Roma, presenting them the opportunities of the market in the southeast and the opportunities for the companies to come over there. It would be something very interesting to repeat, offering them also as a future market or possible market, the Tampa Bay area. Like I say, there are 5 chambers in the US, 3 in Canada and 1 in Mexico, beside the other approximately 60 in the other 55 countries around the world. The chamber is a non-profit independent organization, but is part of Assocamere, which is the association of all the Italy binational Chamber of Commerce of Italy, which is Italy America in the US, but then it could be Italy France, Italy China, and so on in the different countries. And Assocamere is also part of Union Camere, which is the organization that gets together all the Chamber of Commerce in Italy and the Chamber of Commerce abroad. Who are our partners in our activities? We have local activities and local events that we organize, but also we create events with our international partners. International partners are usually port agency in Italy, Chamber of Commerce in Italy, trade show in Italy that have interest in our area, and we organize some activities. We focus our events on some what we call signature events. We have 3 signature events, and this is what's happening in Miami right now, what has been happening in the last years. The idea is to try to replicate some of these events in other areas, the areas of the chapters, or create new events that are more focused on the needs on the chapters. Right now, our top signature events are the Authentic Italian Table, which is an event that happens every year. This year is going to be November 20, together with the consulate in a spirit of collaboration and create a win-win relationship and synergy and working together, where we're going to showcase the best of the Italian cuisine in a way of the gastronomic market, but also in a way of the supplies that goes into this market, and also in a way to educate the customers from the difference between the true Italian products and the sounding Italian. Not to say that one is better than the other one, but just to explain the difference between mozzarella di bufala and a bufala coming from California, or a Parmesan from Wisconsin, and a Parmigiano Reggiano from Italy. So we have some seminars, but also some social events and some testing moments. Another big event will be the Italic Award, which is basically a gala event that we have every December, right before the festivities. But it also is a moment to award some personalities that dedicate their business life and their time to take the name of Italy around the world and to support the excellencies of Italy across the world. And the last event is the last in a chronological order because it just happened. It's the Best of Italian Design. It's an event that we organized. Again, it was very successful this year, done together with the Consolato Generale in Miami. It's the Best of Italian Design, an event focused on design, but also food. It's an event that this year was a 2 days event at the Miami Design District, and he was inviting architects and interior design with a tour with the different showrooms from Italian brands, and also creating like a food competition the first day, and the second day we have some workshop and presentation and seminars. These are some ideas that I want to give it to you. First of all, to you be invited to come to Miami and be part of this event, but also to give you some ideas of what it can be replicated here in Tampa. Also, we have some events that are just smaller events, and events that we repeat every month, every quarter, depending on the type of event, and also depending on the season. Usually in summer is a little bit slower, so we do probably one every 3 months, and in the fall and the winter is almost every month. Our business breakfast, where our members get together at the beginning of the day in smaller groups, they present each other, and they probably present business opportunity among them. Business seminars are seminars that we organize with some of our partners, that sometimes are members of the chambers, and they are on specific topics. We did some seminars on the new tax regulation, fiscal law. We did some seminar on the logistic and the trade. What do you need to have in order to import? We did some seminars with custom and the FDA, so with some very specific topics that are requested by our members. And Meet the Expert is another very interesting event that we started doing last year, together with other binational chambers in Miami, with the Spanish chamber, the German, the French, and the British, where each chamber brings in a space, that could be a space like this, an expert in one topic. And we create like an event in one evening where business leaders come and they have this possibility to talk with the expert and develop some topics, some projects in a very social and in a very casual way. And it's also a way for this expert to get known to the community of different nationalities. The same thing with the European chambers. We do some networking events, and we do another thing that we are starting to develop, and some seminar on technology, which is very important. And of course, one of the best reasons why Italy is known is the food and the gastronomic, and one of the activities that we have is the Marchio Ospitalità. It's an award from the Italian government that recognizes all those restaurants that are truly Italian, and is a procedure that the Italian-American Chamber of Commerce carry on to recognize the true Italian restaurants and give them an award plaque with a ceremony once a year. So what's the real value of becoming a member of the chamber? The biggest value of becoming a member of the chamber is the network that the chambers can create. Like I said, it's not only a local network, but it can be a network throughout the US, but also outside of the US. Our mission is just to foster the trade between Italy and the US, and to foster and promote investment and the export from Italy to USA, but a lot of time also from American companies that want to go to Italy. Basically, our main objective is to fulfill and satisfy requests from entrepreneurs and create a comfortable environment for them to do business and to promote their business. And as a matter of fact, in this way, one of the last initiatives of the chamber, since we moved to a bigger office in Miami, was to create what we call a project Italian Lab, which is basically an incubator for Italian companies that want to come to the US and they want to be introduced in the Italian environment and get a push and grow faster. Right now we have a couple of companies in different industries, from the electronics, from the fashion, they basically have a space inside of the chamber, and they can we can help them grow in the market. We have 3 different level of membership: business, sustaining, and premium, and there are different level of visibility in the events and in the tour of the chambers. And this is our contact of the chamber. So this is just a brief presentation to give you the details on how the chamber works, who we are, and what we do. What we are trying to achieve here. I've been overwhelmed last night from this very warm reception that we had, and I really discovered this huge Italian community here that are over 100 years of history, and there are also a great business community that I haven't seen such a history of Italo-American community in our area. I don't think there's no other area. So I really think that this is the perfect place to create another chapter for the chamber, but it's something that needs to be created with a local contribution on each of you, each of the company present here, because like I said before, we are a non-profit organization and we base our structure on the support of the member and on the membership. So it's the membership keeps the chambers running, and thanks to the commitment of our members, we are able to create events and to promote each other businesses. So the idea is to create a group of 15. We can create by our guidelines a chapter with 15 members, but I'm sure we're going to reach this target very quick here, and we have much more members. So the idea is to create a group of business leader here. They can be a point of reference for the business community, have all the support and the experience and the know-how of the chamber in these 28 years of activities, and be able to create synergy with the business community, not only the Italian one, but also the other communities, and create events, promotion, and basically a network that can be beneficial for everybody. And I'm talking only on the business point of view, but in these 2 days we see so many opportunities also on the science, on the education, on the cultural, and I'm really excited about what can be done here and in this market, and I really look forward to see you guys in part of the chamber and in one of our next events that can be organized here. I don't know if this one has is connected to the internet or not, the Wi-Fi. Okay, because we have a video that presents the Italo-American Chamber of Commerce, some of the activities. So if you want, if you give me your contact information, we will be more than happy to share with also YouTube channel with all the videos that gives you an idea of our events and what we do. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm available for all the questions that you may have for this project. Okay, at the end we're going to have a question. Thank you.
Wow, I'm inspired. There you go. Central came over yesterday. I thought, we had something good here, but we don't really have it. Now we do have it. We do have hope. We want to thank you very much, Mr. Musillo. We want to thank very much Mr. Cardano. I was inspired most of all when we saw this morning. Unbelievable. I didn't even know that existed at USF. And I'm an alumni of the USF. And these programs, they are put together within 5 years. And everything is kind of laid out perfectly for what we're trying to do and what we want to do. I'd like to start the presentation. I'll start with myself. I'd like to keep it at the end for question and answer. So hold your question and answer until everybody presents their project. Sorry. What I thought to achieve here is to kind of glue the business aspect of it with the social aspect, which is the club membership, which is also any other groups. And there's going to be a group speaking tonight too, to present their thoughts and their ideas, how we could all work together. First of all, let me start with mine. I'll tell you, Tampa Bay has gone a long way from the time I started importing tile from Italy 44 years ago. At that time, there was no Italian tile being imported. There was no San Pellegrino in the stores. You couldn't even find Italian espresso in most restaurants. If you wanted to have an Italian-made interior furnishing and Italian-made clothing, you had to travel to Italy or New York to buy them. Now we have shelves full of Italian products. There are more Italian products than ever before, to an increase in demand, which has led to an increase in Italian companies as well as importers, distributors, specializing in Italian-made products. Throughout the years, I've traveled many regions in Italy looking for products and suppliers. I learned how efficient the Italian manufacturers and craftsmen are with different and unique industry from every region. Tile in Sassuolo, metals in Brescia, faucets, jewelry in Vicenza, furniture in Cantu and Pesaro, and so on. As the years have passed, many of those companies have immigrated to the United States, setting up the same structure to cater to the increased demand. In Miami, you could see an increased presence of big names, brand, made in South Florida their home, which all can be attributed to the marketing and promotion by the Italian ICE and the Italo-American Chamber of Commerce, with the collaboration and the support of the Italian government, which has been and will continue to be instrumental in promoting the Italian brands within Florida and throughout the United States. Here in Tampa Bay area, we have more Italian products available than ever before, but we do not have many Italian companies or physical stores that offer Italian-made products. Even though the request is present, the opportunity to capitalize on the increase in demand is endless. Today, the Chamber, because of the promotional and network programs with trade shows, publications, special events, and a vast network of collaborators and associations, more Italian companies have been able to establish a presence in the United States with the creation of branches throughout the combination of new ventures, partnership with local merchants and investors. We need Italian companies to open the branches here, and we need Italian factories to open the production here, just like they have in areas like Miami. The first step in making this all happen is partnering with IACCSE of Miami by having a chapter in Tampa and creating promotion, marketing, assistance to new ventures. The first platform to promote the Italian brand will be the creation of a design center, similar to the design district of Miami. The second platform is a marketplace, all of which will need Italian public support, government support, support of our financial institutions. Tonight, the next best speaker is going to be Sandro Murta with the Tampa Bay Export-Import Assistance Center. We want to thank you very much for your attention.
I have a presentation, but if you want to put it up, but I'll try to be brief so that the rest of the speakers have time to present. Mario and I met about a year ago, right? And we talked about this project. I think it's a fantastic idea because there's a lot of opportunity. I've lived throughout the Southeast. I've visited different cities. I've been to the Mediterranean Shipping Company in Charleston, and they talked about the chamber. I lived in Atlanta for many years, and I had the chance to interact there with the honorary consul, the Italian community, and go to the trade shows and where you see tons of Italian companies in different industries, such as woodwork, that come to the States to exhibit and try to find partners in this country. So I think Tampa has a great foundation through this organization, and there's a good opportunity to cooperate with the chamber. You already have a home to establish the chamber. Anyway, so personally, I work in international business. I work with the federal government. I work for an agency called the Small Business Administration, and we do many things. But our main focus is access to capital for small businesses. And small businesses in the U.S. is a manufacturer with 500 employees or less, distributor 100 employees or less, service company $14 million in sales or less. And we work with our partners, the banks, to assist small businesses accessing finance. We don't provide direct financing unless there is a disaster, so you don't want those loans. But what we do, we guarantee the loan to the bank. And these loans can be for fixed assets, such as commercial real estate, equipment, or it can also be working capital, lines of credit. And we have specialized programs that can be used to finance export sales. We have lines of credit that go up to $5 million with a 90% guarantee for the bank, so that you as small business exporters can sell internationally and provide credit to their buyers. We also have fixed assets financing. So like I mentioned, real estate, equipment purchase. So if you have a company that is coming from Italy and they want to invest in the US, they can still benefit from our programs, because we have basically the company becomes the president of the US, the owners have a visa, and the bank can provide the loans to finance the acquisition of a building. There are some limitations in terms of the term of the loan matching the visa, but it's a good opportunity to help those companies create a foothold in the country. I also work talking about international trade with our other sister agencies, such as the Export-Import Bank, in which you have companies that can sell internationally. We do what SACE does, basically. And so they can sell internationally and provide credit to the buyers. We also have a collaborative relationship with the U.S. Department of Commerce, helping U.S. companies to expand internationally and sell internationally. And in Florida, we also have an entity called Enterprise Florida, which also works with the business community that is doing business internationally. We can also help through our programs a company that is acquiring, for example, equipment from a company in Italy. We can still finance that. So there is a lot of tools that are available. I'm talking about financial tools because business is like poker. You don't have chips and money in your pocket, you can sit at the table, right? So this is a key element for that purpose. And as I told Mario, I have my cards. Anybody have business owners or has any questions regarding the programs and how we can access financing and how we can help them, we're here willing to help.
Thank you, Simon. I asked for all the questions and answers to be done at the end of the program, so that we can go on with it. The next one to speak is General Davide Re from the Italian Joint Cell at the MacDill Air Force Base.
Grazie.
Thank you and good evening.
Let me sit down by myself. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to the council and dear friends. It's a pleasure to be back after the 2nd of June, which was celebrated here. I'm Davide Re, Italian Air Force pilot. I'm the head of delegation of the Italian military cell in Central. And just to let you know who we are here because through a joint effort, Air Force, Navy in Bahrain, Army, Carabinieri, we are providing the Italian support to the biggest coalition ever to fight Daesh, ISIS, in Syria, in Afghanistan, and in Iraq. And this is, you will see on the top left-hand corner, an eagle that represents 76 nations and 4 international organizations fighting together, tackling the financing of ISIS, the counter-propaganda, the FTF, foreign terrorist fighters that unfortunately come from the Western countries into the operational area to support Daesh and to fight locals in Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan. And on the right-hand side, there is a beautiful sign written in ancient Persian language and in English. And the nation stays alive when its culture stays alive. And this is our effort through the Carabinieri. You know that our strange service just because our share between the Minister of Interior and Minister of Defense. And they also have a capability in protecting the architectural work of the world. And they're really active in Iraq, in Syria. I say ciao to my unicorn there. And we take advantage of the capability and we export its capability around the world. I didn't mention too much my title because I would like just to run a few slides with you guys. And I will tell you that even if we are military, so normally we do operational job in strange areas, in the difficult areas. We also are able sometimes to provide the know-how, a little bit of Italian culture and language among our partners, and so spreading in the world, as our council just mentioned in the preface. It's going to be a fast presentation. You can hide behind the pillar and sleep if you want. We're really spread around the world, okay? We are working with about 13,000 units all across the world, as you can see. Every single yellow golden dot is where we are operating among NATO, among EU, among UN, international organization. And even if our constitution is against the war, we provide operational capability to maintain freedom of movement and freedom in different countries. We are currently engaged with 6,000 military people in 35 international missions in 24 countries, as you see in the slide. This is a picture that is really familiar to me. Okay, it represents my past as an operational pilot. This is a Tornado airplane, and this normally is an operational capability that we offer also because this airplane, which is German, English, and Italian design, was made to provide operational capability, also destroying objectives, military objectives through operational engagement. In Italy, this tool, while I was wing commander in Gedi, at Fort Base in Brescia, in the north foggy land, far away from Sicily, which is really common here, it was flown the 24th of August 2016 to recognize, to make a recce mission, which means taking picture, operational picture, like we do in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and Syria, not in Syria because of political mandate, but in Iraq. And we were taking a picture of an earthquake, a really strong earthquake at 6 degrees of the scale that occurred that night at 3:37 a.m. So everybody was sleeping probably, some were coming back from the disco maybe, and these are the pictures that the following day we heard on the radio. And while coming on the base, I heard on Radio DJ, for the Italians that have been in Italy recently, probably is a common network, I heard about this destruction and I decided by myself to send a tornado with a pod, which is under the fuselage of the airplane, just to make picture of the area. And if you see the following pictures, you'll see how much destruction was provided. And also, this tool can be reported on maps in order to measure the width of the road. So in order to make sure that the civilian protection could have planned for an ambulance to run through that road, otherwise they could not. In order to plan in advance, also because you know, is in the Apennine area, a very hilly, high hills area in the inner Italy, and that helped a lot to make sure that everybody was trying to provide the fast and timely support to people which was facing this tragedy. If you look at the top right-hand corner, this is Amatrice, the 25th of August. It looked like Dresden, 1945. Another capability that normally we apply with the same pod, which is on the top right-hand corner, which is a rectilight pod, is a piece of really high technology that, in which also Italy has put a part of. We were able to detect in Quinzano dell'Olio, between Cremona and Piacenza and Brescia counties, province, 76 plants of marijuana. There is no sniffer, I promise. But just collecting data and pictures, we were able to help the Carabinieri to detect from above, because they didn't expect what we're looking so detailed into their garden, that marijuana was cultured in that place. So these are the capabilities that we may have as armed forces that, as you've seen, they have a dual capability. So not only operational, but can be serving our country and abroad. And this is other simple example. We, as you know, during the Second World War, we've been bombed heavily after 1943. And we still found residuals, war residuals, in Brescia, in Milano, in the northern part mainly, along railroads, and these are still active explosives. So with the technology and capability of our people, we are able to detect them and to blow them in place and to provide safety to our people. Cavour is a big vessel ship that was sent to White Operation Crane in Haiti, if you remember, after that flooding, big flood in 2010. And of course, refugees and IDPs that are moving from let's say the northern border of Africa, moving in our country, which is the closest area where they can find, let's say, a little bit of safety. And these are still capabilities we can provide. You see that volcano, 2010, was blocking the whole European sky. You know that Frau Merkel, she was here in the United States and she was supposed to come back to Berlin. She couldn't. She landed in Italy because of this cloud of volcanic ashes, because it was blocking the northern sky, and she had to land in Milano, and then from Milano she has to be driven to Berlin because there was no chance to fly in the sky. And why am I talking about these events? Because this is capability that we create by ourselves with the technology of our Italian industries to detect how much volcanic ashes is in the air. This is called LIDAR. It's close to radar, light imaging and detection rendering, in order to detect how safe for an airplane is to fly in that sky, maybe cloudy, in which you cannot detect how much ashes, volcanic ashes are, because otherwise both engines will freeze and gravity will make the rest. And about starting, going to the rumors of my presentation, about bringing Italian culture and know-how, of course, and the language are also the international programs. I was trained in Texas, so I'm a redneck because I started there. And I was flying with 1,400 countries, students like me, from Holland, Germany, Norway, Sweden, from all over the place, of course, Americans. And now I see those guys being corner general like me and facing maybe the same tracks with different gray hair, of course, but maybe sharing the same experience. And these are some of the programs in which Italy has been excelling, okay? The M346 will be always being, as the Italian country, great in providing training, airplane for training, and this has been widespread in Israel, that for us is one of the top military forces, engaged 30 of these beautiful technology equipment for training their own people. Eurofighter, $8.7 billion selling 24 airplanes to Kuwait, and that happened really recently. FRAM, these are multi-mission frigates built with France, and the Lynch vehicle for the army that have been worldwide spread. So we are spreading technology, but of course the same operator sometimes need to learn from us how to employ them or to share what we call best practice, which means sometimes that they love our country, they know our country, and they want to speak Italian. And this is just a local example. Catherine probably remembers about December 2018, we were in the Gatorade school and we were providing some briefing to their students and also some, let's say, goods that we collected in order to support a closer school that probably didn't have so much luck in providing goods to their students. Another important item is in August 2017, through the Consulate on Italian Cooperation Program, that was signed and awarded my friend and the commander of Eagle Air Force Base, because they made an arrangement with the local Ocalusa school in order to provide Italian language teaching to their students. And also for our military guys, military Italian guys from the Air Force that were employed there, for their kids were able to study English and to refresh their Italian, because you know sometimes then they switch so much they forget their own previous language. And of course, having mentioned Italian military educational and technological cooperation means that we need to start early at our stage of our formation. During the academy years, 1988 for me, I was 18 years old. I remember I had like about 20 Somali colleagues, 3 Moroccans, and 4 Tunisian guys, some pilots, some engineers, and some technicians that were studying with me. And of course, we were sharing culture, we were sharing the language. And we started in 1930 doing this joint venture with them through Libya and Afghanistan, a long time ago. Also in Lebanon, for instance, Italy is providing operational support in Lebanon through UN and also on collateral basis. And the nice thing is that officers are asking to start to learn Italian if there is no need for. And as you know, probably recently, Italy's passed over French as the most taught language. Of course, not for, let's say, not for the compulsory school education. And also another interesting part that 30 personnel, female personnel, which are employed by the wife of the president of Lebanon, asked to be taught in Italian culture and language to provide, let's say, their own effort to the wife of the president of Lebanon. So a lot of time I've been asked, also today, for instance, from the German SNR, which is my colleague as a brigadier general, asked me how he could learn Italian. And it's not just learning the language, but this is driven also by the will to learn our culture and also our tradition. So besides the know-how, the language and the culture, we can then share our beauties in our country. From north to south, east to west, the fashion, the beauty of our technology, of our tradition, of our food. And this is the last slide, and I like to present it also because the Frecce Tricolori, for instance, which are just an aerobatic teams, I like them because for me, being an Air Force pilot, are probably the best sign of Italy just providing technology, capability, and as I say, the longest bandiera tricolore, so the longest Italian flag in the sky. And this concludes my brief, so I want to say thank you your question because that would be at the end, right?
General, thank you for your service. You make us proud to be Italians. The next speaker is a friend and also my partner in this membership drive, Vince Park.
Thank you, Mario, and welcome everyone who's here this evening. And we're having a great time getting to know our guests more as they get to know us a little bit more. There are Italians in Tampa. People who know it. I'm going to talk a little bit. Sal Boyardo, the president of the Italian Club, is not here tonight, so I'm going to blend what I'm going to talk about some cities with that. We'll start off really with the Italian Club, because the Italian Club really has birthed a lot of programs and given opportunities to a lot of projects. And actually, this year, 125 years ago, a group of immigrants, and if you know Tampa history, most of them were from Perugia, Agrigento, in Sicily. But they got together and discussed creating a mutual aid society, mainly in part, but also an opportunity for the immigrants to have a place they can call home, to get together, to socialize, and to learn about this new country. So they created L'Unione Italiana. The club was chartered. Members came in. They started off, obviously, with socialization. This building, the club is 125 years old. The building we celebrated last year, the 100th anniversary of this building. The original building was across the street. In fact, the cornerstone is in front of this building, is marble. Wood structure that burned, and then in 1918 they built the structure. But it was the foundation of their socialization. It was a place to come to learn how to assimilate in this new country. They were provided free medical care. This Ybor City, not only because of the Italian club, the Centro Spagnolo, the Centro Studiano, the Cuban club, this is the birthplace of HMOs in the United States. Think about that, the birthplace, right? You paid a few cents, a few dollars of membership, a week, a month, and you had free medical care. And you got buried free with your countrymen and the L'Unione Italiana Cemetery, which if you haven't seen it, it's a beautiful replica of a lot of cemeteries with headstones and photographs. So a lot of us, my family included, have a lot of history here, a lot of culture. My great-grandfather, my cousin Paul Antonori, who was here a minute ago, his grandfather, my great-grandfather, Fronzio de Cidu, was the first collector of the Italian Club. And he literally would go around to the members, collecting their dues, talking about this, making sure they knew about the benefits of the club, the health care, the other socialization. So this club was the foundation for that coming here. Services continued for years. These services that we talked about, this place housed a lot of dignitaries that came from Italy and visiting and had performances. But in the late 1985, the guy became president of the club in '85, and we saw that things were changing. Assimilation had taken place, sometimes too much assimilation had taken place. People had to remember what it was sometimes to be Italian. And the building was in a lot of disrepair, so a new generation of people came in, rallied, and banded together to really rethink what the Italian club was. It was a mutual aid society. We had membership meetings here. If you have Medicare now, you really don't need a little bit of painting for a hospital visit, for a doctor visit. The membership agreed, so we stopped collecting dues. going to medical. And we did a transition, a real paradigm shift with this club over a 2-year period, changing it from a mutual aid society to historic preservation and building restoration nonprofit, 501c3. And that has driven, since 1985, that has driven the focus of this particular club, and also brought about different opportunities for doing things. In 85, as we're going through this room, every day, except for, well, even on Sundays sometimes too, this room was filled with my father's generation. He sat here with people that he grew up with and he was sitting, went to first grade with, and so, and played cards. And I thought, Dad, I will never see that. My generation will never do this kind of thing. It was really cool. And of course, it did. It dwindled down as far as doing that. But as we went through there, we started grants for the building, and you see now we're still continuing to restore buildings. The building in its edifice, the upstairs, and doing those kinds of things. And that's the direction of the club. In that new direction, I had in fact, my mother was volunteering in the office after I became president, and we stopped collecting dues. They weren't getting Medicare. So the older members would say, so what do I get for my dues now? You want to pay dues, but I'm not getting the medical care. No, I'll get buried free. What do I get? And I told myself, if you try to answer that question, you'll never win. What you have to do is pull the John Kennedy and tell them that what they can do for the club, and the club could do for them. And I gave them examples. At the time I was a member of the Mental Health Association. I gave them $200 a year. I didn't expect to get counseling. It was a donation. It was a philanthropic giving. And they need to understand what we're doing now. And some people didn't understand. Most of them did. And they got behind the rally. We started a big restoration program, ended the medical program, got very much into cultural preservation. We had an Italian children's dance group. We started Italian language classes. I told a reporter one time, in my grandfather's generation here, they taught English. Today we teach Italian so we don't forget the language and the culture doing that. Got very big into genealogy. People understand their roots, and people didn't know that. I was amazed how many people would come in and say, I'm Italian. I said, where's your family from? I don't know. And I'm thinking, how could they not know? And 1-2 generations of where the family came from. So they did get interested in genealogy, cooking demonstrations. And so we went through that. And so one of the projects, and just so you know, the Fan Club right now has over 1,000 members. And we are independent. There are lodges nationally for the Sons of Italy. We're an independent organization and have been since the inception. One of the projects that came about, actually during the centennial year of the club, was to create a sister city. And we did a lot of, usually we had a lot of discussions here, and since the majority, if you don't know, about 90% of the immigrants from Italy that came here came from about 4 villages in the province of Agrigento. So Sicily was always been a focal point, obviously. So we looked at that, and the villages were too small, so we selected the capital of the province, the city of Agrigento, to be our sister city, and embraced it. Embraced Stefano, Alessandro Rocca, Bivona, all the places that were people that originated. We did that, and in 1991 we had the first delegation of about 28 people, folkloric dancers, musicians, mayors, city council people, their wives, and we hosted it for about 2 weeks here, including Disney World. And that stepped off. The next year, Al and I took the delegation to and I took a delegation with Mayor Stanley Friedman to Sicily, and that was the first of our visits. And we've had trips now almost every 3-4 years. We've done tours of Sicily, taken at this point 3 mayors, county commissioners, city council people, really for helping them understand, whether they were Italian or not, understanding the culture of this subgroup, the Italian subgroup. Even Stanley Friedman was sure there are and were synagogues in Sicily. Our group has been with sister cities, and there are about 9-10 sister cities now, but for our focus here, it's been primarily cultural. We've hosted numerous times folkloric dancers and musicians that come over for Festa Italiana, for special events and things of that nature. When they're here, they always give dance classes, music classes to people in the school board. That's been a staple to do that together with schools. We've done it in private, like Frank, a dance studio, private sector, making sure that they leave a little bit of the culture here. Exchange students, we've helped them, and I think this ties in of how the Italian Club ties into everything we're doing here with Council General. This has been a center for people who didn't know where to go. I want to open up a business. I'm just visiting from Italy. How do I get started? This place has been that hub when there was been a void of any one place else to go. There'd be a Chamber of Commerce, an office such as the Council General's office. This was the hub, and a lot of times still continues to be that in that case. The Magna Grecia project, when we took Mayor Dick Rago, he was instrumental in helping us to get antiquities from the Archaeological Museum in Agrigento here for Magna Grecia project. This was in the year 2000. It was the largest attended function of anything, even today, that the Tampa Museum of Art has ever had. And there were antiquities that weren't ever, they had not even been on mainland Italy. And here we had them in Tampa, Florida, because of the exchange and Mayor Greco's efforts. We have influenced travel. Before, if anybody went to Sicily, they got, not to use the name, they did a little tour, and maybe they had an afternoon and saw the temples for a little bit, and then they were out of town. When we started our trips, we did 3 to 4 days in the province. We gave people time to visit their families, find their families, find out if there was a record. And that, of the 3 major tour agencies in Tampa today, they give tours, that's what they do. They give time for people to find their families, experience it, stay in the villages. One time we stayed in people's homes, but that kind of experience, very different than just taking a tour and spending an afternoon with that. So these are some of the things that Tampa Sister Cities has done in the past. We see ourselves being a cultural, a social leg, if you will, with the chamber and creating this and how we bring that whole step together. So we're very proud. What has happened, we've been looking to be prouder in what we do in the future in collaboration. Thank you very much. Oh, and I'm sorry. One of our projects, what's coming up? Al Beluccia, who's one of the creators with us, with Sister Cities. Al this past year, along with Captain Visconti from Gate High School, had a project. We hosted some culinary students from Bologna. So very briefly, I just wanted to understand this one project which came about this past year and how that's also going to carry on.
Thank you, Vince. I'm going to ask Catherine to come up right after I do because she's got some better insight as well. So, you heard, I'm going to talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart. You heard Sandro talk about, hey, without money, you can't sit at the poker table, right? I'll tell you, unless you take care of the youth, you don't have a future. So that's what we're going to springboard on here and talk about. So I've been involved with the Sister Cities since its inception in the mid-90s. And as Vince alluded to, we've enjoyed, call it a cultural type relationship between the two cities. They sent folklore dancers here. We've gone over there. The main purpose has been genealogical studies, where the ancestors, things like that. And now we have an opportunity to springboard into education, the youth. So, last year, as Vince said, going back and forth with different dignitaries, different mayors, last year with Mayor Buckhorn, I had the opportunity to meet Giovanna Bubello, who happens to be the principal of Luigi Pirandello High School in Vivona. Vivona is one of the little towns in Agrigento, right to Alessandria della Rocca, where my family's from. And she said, hey, I'd like to tell you about a program I have. And it was basically a culinary department that she wanted to have tour to Tampa, come to Tampa, so they can share their culinary secrets, ideas, and maybe start an exchange program. Didn't know how I was going to get this done, but I told her, don't worry about it, that's what Sister Cities is all about. When I got back to town, A couple of months later, that was May of last year, a couple of months later, I met Catherine Visconti. She's the Italian language teacher at Gaither High School. And she's going to talk about her Ciao Italia program, but she made it happen. I was nothing but the conduit. And as Vince explained, in April of this year, we had 20 dignitaries, faculty, 8 students, the mayor of Bivona came, the vice mayor. It was a beautiful experience. We now have to reciprocate. So when the group was here, there was something that stood out for me. Yeah, they went to USF. They shadowed some restaurants, learned some of their culinary ideas and what have you. They went to Gaither High School. They went to Sickles. They even met the mayor of Tampa and what have you. But my aha moment, if you will, was at Gaither High School. The Italians from Bivona had set up all their pastries and desserts, appetizers. And they were waiting for the class to get out. As soon as class let out, all the students gravitated towards that table to enjoy the food. And when I sat back and I saw the students communicating with each other, don't know what language they were speaking, but they were talking to each other. They were exchanging ideas, there were exchanges of numbers. I think some friendships have evolved from that. And I said, you know what, that's what it's all about. That's the moment when I thought, hey, this is something we have here and we've got to build on it. So I think this is a great springboard into hopefully the Chamber of Commerce can support that. As a matter of fact, last night, if you remember Cristiano's speech, he challenged us. He said, y'all, when you create a committee, with 3 or 4, maybe it was 1 or 2 goals. Stay focused. You don't know how you're going to get there, but as long as everybody has the same goals, we can make it happen. And I think it's important that those goals are not transactional, so that there's winners on both sides. And I think it's very important that if not one of those goals, a subset of one of those goals is education and continuing this exchange between the 2 towns. So that's what my heart is, and that's what I want to see happen here with the Chamber. So that the other side, that is in Bivona, they're ready for us. So we now have to put a program together, and hopefully that'll happen this school year. If not, it'll be next school year, but it will happen. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Catherine so she can talk about Ciao Italia, Gaither High School, and all the fun stuff going on there.
Grazie, buonasera a tutti. I'll just say hello in Italian. But, thank you for all these wonderful compliments about Ciao Italia and how we got Gaither to host all these students and all these teachers. And it really took 8 months. It was like having a baby. I was there night and day, and we were communicating with Sicily and sending messages and trying to get everything organized. And it really took a lot from students, not only the teacher. And how did it all come about? It came about because Consul General Musillo's office, the consulate in Miami, had a program through the Director of Education asking how students in Florida were learning Italian. And they put out the project to all of Florida teachers, schools, and universities. And I asked my students, how are we learning Italian? And we looked at the standards of the Department of Education, and we realized we could do it in many ways. We could do it with the books, but we could also do it with videos and also reaching out to the community. That is one of the standards: connect, culture, and community. Parallel to what I was doing in the classroom, Mr. Belluccio was doing in Sicily. And when we met and he asked me to collaborate, it just became became a dream for everybody, and we made it happen. Hillsborough has over 200,000 students. It is the 8th district in the United States of America. Gaither High School is the only Italian program in Tampa at the moment. And Ciao Italia and everyone who is collaborating are determined to put more programs into the schools because of the love that people have for Italy, for the culture, and for all the things that the Chamber of Commerce tonight is talking about. The design, the food, the manufacturing, everything is very much loved by students and by the community. So hopefully we can all work together, and if you have any questions, I will be ready to answer what happened with Vivona and how we got it all going. It really was a beautiful dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Caterina. Thank you all. You asked, it says, what all this got to do with the membership of the Italian Chamber that we want to promote? Well, remember what I said before. It needs Italian public support, governmental support, and financial institutions. Vince made a very, very good point. Al did the same. Caterina, she's working very hard to achieve that. You know, the sister said it's very important. All those people, all those kids come over throughout the years. Some of them remain here. Some of them have established business here. Some of them got married. As a matter of fact, I noticed that last time whenever the culinary school kid came over, one of the guys kind of flirted with one of the American student girls. So there is some kind of future for that. Now, within this, and within this structure that we're trying to create, there's other groups that would like to encourage to participate. One of the groups on it that I'd like for to come up and speak is a network group, which is fairly new, is within the Italian Club. And this Chris Dedion is coming up to speak about it. Please, Chris.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone here. Glad everyone was able to make it tonight. As Mario said, we're fairly new in the Italian Club doing the networking group. But many of you know and have done networking all your lives. It wasn't called networking back like the older people. As the older people like me, it's called socialization. But now it's called networking. In today's environment, we all really need to make a conscious effort to do that. Simply is not going to happen. One of our most important resources is the cultural and social clubs, the members, and the ability to attract members. So in order for our network to be successful, we want to focus on our new members first. So our initial priority is to be a resource for the members and families of the Italian Club. That includes business and social assistance to help acclimate new members while celebrating the culture that brings us all together. Create friendships among our members and hopefully enhance the quality of life in doing this. These are all things that we want of a cultural and social club. So how do we all do this? Well, we create an association to provide and support members and their businesses in the Italian Club. We will create a listing of all Italian Club members, their business owners, and their websites with searchable fields. So if you're looking for someone that is a doctor or an attorney, you can find these people within the club. We're going to offer paid advertising and opportunities for businesses for more detailed advertising and information about their businesses. Actively promote business contributory membership opportunities. I believe it's the third page. It shows what we're going to be doing. And the first section there is just the membership name. So we'll have the membership name, address, city, state, email, phone number, what type of membership that they have, and how long they've been a member. The business section of it that's free will be member's name, company name, business address, and a website. We're going to add to that, if they want to go into more detail, we'll charge them some fee, $50, and then they can add their email address, business phone number, a business description, about 200 characters, business category, whether they're an attorney, doctor, real estate agent, and then if they're going to allow discount to club members, what their business affiliation is, and any language is spoken. So if you're looking for an attorney that speaks Italian, you can search for that attorney. So we're going to put that up in the on the website, so we'll be able to search that information. We also want to create opportunities to network at social venues. We currently have social activities going on now. We have what we call Crush every other Friday night. And we do have large activities as well. We have Festa. We just did a raised baseball outing, wine tasting. We're having a cruise dinner and a masquerade ball. These activities give us a chance to connect on a social and professional level. We're also looking to smaller, low-cost planned activities as well. Poetry tournaments, golf outings, something like that. We also want to create an interest in our community to grow our membership. We established a Facebook page and a LinkedIn page that we can add activities, events, photos, etc., as well as historical and cultural information. That will be going live shortly. That's also in your handout over there. Yeah, I lost it. So these are the things we're really looking at right now. And with all the meetings we've had, I'm sure you have a lot of statistics about Tampa Bay. But here are a few that I thought were rather interesting. Tampa is ranked one of the top places in America. Italians started settling in Tampa in 1880, and we've had constant growth since then. We're the second most popular city in Florida behind Miami. And if we look at the Tampa metro area, which goes from Brooksville to Sarasota, we're about 3.1 million people based on the 2010 U.S. Census. If we look at the number of Italians in the population of Tampa, it's about 228,000 or 7.25% versus Miami at 288,000 or 6.3%. And in the Tampa-St. Pete area, we have about 80,000 Italian Americans. With that being said, we have a real purpose to promote our Italian club. We want to bring in new members. We want to enhance our membership reading orientation program. And as we bring in new people and enhance the programs, we can really promote the culture of Italy and reach out to the community and show what we have to offer. Thank you.
Well, that kind of concludes this program tonight, but before we go ahead and start eating some of that delicious antipasto from Luigi, I'd like to say one final word. Right to the left, there is applications for the membership of the Tampa chapter of the Italy-American Chamber of Commerce Southeast. Please, spread the word. We need 15 members between some of the companies in Italy and some of the people that already committed themselves that they'll pay up. We've got about 50%. So therefore, I'd like your help. There's applications there. If it's not enough, let me know and I'll go and email it to y'all. The last word, I'd like to thank Mr. Musillo and Mr. Cardona. With your visit over here, you put gas to the fire that was already here. And we want to thank you very much. Now, this concludes and I want to thank all the speakers. You did a great job to present to all of us and also to the council.